Hey, welcome back. We're in for about a 55-minute full body beginner to intermediate workout. We'll be using some mini loop bands and core sliders, so get those ready. And then body weight for the rest. So this one's a little different. You have 20 seconds to set up, and there will be a little bit of repetition so that you can familiarize yourself with the moves. All right, starting the warm-up. Let's go. Okay, here's your 20-second setup. So we are going to start in a pretzel hover. I'm coming down to my butt. I want to make sure that my knees are going in the same direction. My feet are going in the same direction. I have my knees bent at about 90 degrees. And then I'm just going to keep that knee bent, lifting my top leg. I'm just going to swing that knee forward and then back. So we're going to activate the glute, really warming up the hips here. That's halfway. Let's switch sides. Okay, next up, we are going to start in a high plank position. From there, we're going to rock back into child's pose. Butt comes back to ankle, arms extend. And then from there, I'm going to step my right foot to the outside of my right hand and then make a big circle with my shoulder. I'm going to circle that hand all the way back, tap my hamstring, bring it back forward, back to plank, child's pose, and then repeat on the other side. For a minute of horse stance rotations. So starting in that wide sumo hold, we're going to drop our butt down. We're going in for some inward rotation, so we want our shoulder to come to the center or the midline of our body. As we turn those shoulders in, our arm extends, and we should feel that nice stretch throughout the back of our arm. out with my loop bands. So with the legs, we can go a little bit heavier. And then if you have these cloth ones, these are a little tougher, great for the legs though. So I'm going in for 3 lateral band walks. So I'm gonna, with legs above my knees, I'm gonna drop into a squat, staying low. I'm gonna walk laterally. From there, I'll plant my hands, shoot. You can walk or jump your feet out into that plank position. And then we're going in for 3 jacks, jump or step up to your feet and repeat. Okay, let's get our hamstrings. So I'm grabbing a medium resistance band and then I'm placing it around the top and the bottom of both feet. I want to step into a staggered stance, so one foot in front of the other, and then my back foot is what's going to be working. I'm going to curl up. So as you can see, I've extended one arm just to kind of counterbalance, and then the opposite side, I'm going to curl with that leg. So I'm just bending at the knee, trying to bring my foot up to my butt. We'll do 30 seconds on one side. Okay, that's halfway, so adjust your stance and we'll do the other side. We're going into the lateral banded walks to plank jacks again, so adjust your resistance bands if you need. Bands around knees. We'll be here for a minute. Okay, coming into our banded leg lifts in plank. This one's great for the glutes. So we're going into a high plank. Bands are just around my ankles. And then I'm just going to, straight legs, I'm just going to use my glute to lift my leg up. And I'll do 3 on each side, alternating sides. For a modified version, you can just come onto your knees. It's just as effective. You just want to keep in mind that your core is strong and your spine is straight. Okay, nice work. You should be getting nice and sweaty by now. So we're going to go into our banded lateral lunge to a leg lift, working our inner thigh and our hip abductor muscles. So again, band, I'm going for a medium to heavy, is around or just above my knees. I'm going to step into that lateral lunge, pressing my butt out. My chest comes towards or faces the ground. So I'm coming deep into that lunge, and then as I step out of it, I'm going to go in for a lateral leg lift. If you want, you can tap down in between both of those movements, or if you're nice and light on your feet and you have good balance, you can just kind of lightly fall into that side lunge. And that's halfway, switching legs. Okay, let's come into our high side plank and we'll add a banded row. So this one's great for the abdominals, the shoulders, the triceps. So starting in a high side plank, we're going to have our band around one hand, and then I'm just going to roll to the side of my feet, coming into that side plank. As I'm doing that, I'm pulling my band across my chest and then looking up to that elbow. 30 seconds on one side. Okay, halfway, switch sides. All right, we need to move our bands, maybe change the resistance above the knees. We're going back in for our banded lateral lunge to a leg lift, 30 seconds on each side. Halfway, time to switch legs. Time to go back into that high side plank with a banded row. Switch your resistance if needed, and we'll do 30 seconds on each side. Okay, that's halfway. Switch arms. break is coming soon, but first, sumo hold with a crossbody pull. So I'm dropping down into that sumo lunge or sumo squat position. All of the weight is in my heels. I'm going to extend one arm, band in hand, and then the opposite hand pulls that band across my chest. We'll do 30 seconds on one side. That's halfway, switch arms. So starting on our belly, we're going to engage our whole posterior chain by lifting our chest up nice and high, lifting our quadriceps off of the floor, and then with bands in hand and arms extended overhead, we're going to pull our elbows to our side. So I'm going to do one under my chin and then one over my head. Take breaks as needed. Great start, you guys. Go get some water and come back. We're going to use our bands and core sliders. So if you have cut-up legs, great. Maybe you have the discs. Whatever works for you. Socks are great too. So get some water. See you soon. Sliding time. I just love this one. So we're going to slide into bear swivels from plank. So you can start in bear or plank. I'm starting in bear. As you can see, I'm just twisting my torso, turning so that my hip faces the ground. I'm going to go both sides. And then once I'm done that, I'm just going to slide my feet into plank. From there, slide them back into bear. So 90-degree bend at the knees. Knees just hover off of the ground a couple inches. Go in for your torso twist and repeat. Okay, we'll be using bands and sliders for this one. So we're coming into a sliding lateral lunge and then adding a single side lat pull down. So if I'm going to slide with my right, my left knee is bent. So you can step into this to practice first, but I'm going to slide into it with my right foot and my right arm is extended overhead. As I slide and I'm deep into my lunge, I'm going to pull my left elbow down, pulling my band down to my side. We'll do 30 seconds on one side.
Rewind selector. Rewind selector. Rewind selector. Rewind selector. Rewind selector.
And that's the halfway mark. Let's switch directions. To get nice and sweaty in this one. You can ditch the bands. Sliders are on our feet. I'm going to start in a high plank. I'm going in for 8 mountain climbers. So I'm sliding my feet in, crunching my knees up. From there, I'm in high plank, and then I'm just going in for some lateral taps. I'm sliding my feet wide, really feeling that in the obliques. You can alternate sides. For a more advanced version, as you'll see here, I'm going 2 feet at once. That's a little harder. So 1 minute here. All right, nice job. We are going back into our sliding lateral lunges with a lat pull down, 30 seconds on one side. That's halfway. Let's switch directions. Okay, great job. Let's go into our banded reverse lunge slide. So really burning the quadricep and the glutes. We're going to do 30 seconds on one side. Bands go just above your knee. I'm going medium here. I need one slider. So I'm going to place that slider on the foot I decide to lead with. And then basically I'm just going to slide into that reverse lunge, slide up, kind of pulsing as I do so. I'm having a heck of a time with my bands here, so if you have a wider one, that's probably better. Otherwise, you might have to hold on to them so they don't roll up your leg. And that's halfway. Let's switch legs. Great job. We are going into some sliding eccentric hamstrings with some bridge abductions. So I'm going for a heavy resistance band just above the knees. I'll be putting the sliders on my heels, coming onto my back. I'm going to lift up into that bridge position. Hips are high. Once they're high, I'm going to slide both feet out in front of me, keeping my hips high, and then pulling my feet back either one at a time, or for a more difficult version, pull them back together. And then keeping our hips lifted in bridge, we're going in for 4 abductors. So just pulling our knees out laterally, bringing them in, and then repeating. Okay, we're going back to our banded reverse lunge slides. You can keep the bands above your knees or ditch them if you want. 30 seconds on each leg. And that's halfway, switching sides. Eccentric hamstrings to bridge abductors. We'll be here for the minute. Awesome job. All right, we're going to go back into our reverse lunge slides, 30 seconds on each leg, but we're going to add some arm abduction. So I'm going to place a medium band around my wrists. As I come into those sliding reverse lunge pulses, I'm also going to pulse my arms out wide. So I'm going to tuck my elbows into my side, bend my elbows at 90 degrees, and then I'm going to really work that biceps in this one. And I'm just going to pulse, 3 times, and then bring it in. Come back, pulse 3 times, bring it in. And that's halfway. Let's switch legs. the sliders on our feet, coming into our high plank. Make sure we're applying enough pressure on our sliders so that they're not sliding away from us. From there, all we're doing is we're just going to slide our foot out as wide as you can. The goal is to try to tap your leg to the back of your arm. This one really works the obliques. Great work, you guys. We have a 10-minute session left. If you're finished here, that's great. You still had a full body workout. Don't forget to stretch. If not, come back, join me in 30 seconds. We'll finish strong. Body weight only for the last 10 minutes. We're going into our single leg bridge press, rolling to a pistol pulse. So it looks complicated, follow along. So we're going to bend one knee, pressing up into that single leg bridge, and then from there I'm going to roll up, and I'm just coming in, all of the weight is in that planted foot. I'm just going to press up. If you need to, plant your hands by your side. That will help you until you get stronger and this movement becomes easier. And we're just going to do 30 seconds on one side. That's halfway. Let's switch sides. Let's hit the obliques in this next one. So we're going to start in our high plank, side plank, and then we're just going to bring the top foot planted behind us, hand on the same side behind head, and then I'm just going to get you to, with your knee bent, imagine that there's an object out in front of you. You're just going to tap on the other side of it. You can even place an object in front of you, tap, tap back, and then we're going to go in for an oblique crunch, make contact, knee to elbow. We'll do 30 seconds on one side. Right on, that's halfway, same thing, other side. All right, let's go back into that single leg glute press to a pistol pulse. And just again, if that's too much for you right now, maybe you stick to just the single leg glute press. But use your hands, plant your hands by your side and let them help you press up through that planted foot. work, we're going back into our high side plank foot tap in front of us to an oblique crunch, 30 seconds on one side. Target the legs in the glutes. We're going into 4 split lunges, and then we're going to land in that squat, hold it there, and go for 4 in and out jumps. This one's easily modifiable. If you're not feeling the jumping thing today, no problem, just step into it and take breaks as you need. We'll be here for a minute. Those 4 split lunges and 4 in and out jumps. Again, if you're not feeling the jumping, don't jump, just step into the movement. do our hip opener, but we're going to this time step into a reverse lunge from our hip opener. So big circle with our knee, and then step right back, tap that back knee to the ground if you can, and then we're going to lift that leg by lifting the knee up to the chest, flicking out from the knee, going in for a high kick. 30 seconds on one side. That's halfway, switching sides. We are going to finish off with some abdominals. So we're going to start in a supine position on our back. We're going to lift our legs up in the air. We're going to pulse up. So use our abdominals. So lift our legs up. And then we're just going to lower one vertebrae at a time, nice and slowly. Don't drop your feet to the ground. Once they get close to the ground, you're just going to bend the knees, roll up, and repeat. Our hollow body rocks, getting our abdominals. We're going to stay on our back here. We're going to lean back, hands are out wide. I usually use some dumbbells with this one, but not today. So we're going to just rock back and forth, really activating our core to stabilize our body so that we don't fall forward or fall back. Complete control. You're going to be here for the minute. So nice hollow body, nice slow controlled movements. Amazing job, you guys. Let's go grab some water, 40-second break, and then we'll come back for a few minutes of stretches. Okay, first stretch, praying frog. I don't know why it's called that, but it is. So we're going to drop down into a sumo squat hold. Our toes are pointed wide. I want to push my knees out with my elbows, and then my hands are in that prayer position. And then you can just kind of rock back and forth at your own pace, and you should feel that in your groin and all of the muscles around there. this one is our forward fold, so nothing fancy. We're just going to stretch out the back of our legs. So we'll hinge forward with that straight spine, bringing our chest into our quadriceps. Maybe your hands come to your shins, maybe to your feet, maybe they go under your feet. And we'll just hang out here for a bit. If you want to try to lengthen your spine and then bring your chest back into your quadriceps, you can do that too. Go at your own pace. Okay, let's stretch out the hips in the split down dog hip opener. So starting in down dog, we're going to lift one leg up nice and high, bending that knee. We're just going to turn that hip in or the knee in towards the midline of our body and then hang out here. We'll do 30 seconds on one side. Okay, that's halfway. Let's switch legs. Those shoulders stretched out, so coming onto our belly, our arms are wide in that T formation, and then I'm just going to slowly roll onto one shoulder by lifting my opposite arm up high and then trying to make contact with my hands. If you can't clasp your hands, that's a little bit ambitious. Just go as far as you can until you feel that stretch in the shoulder that's on the ground. Okay, we're halfway, so we're going to slowly roll out of that and slowly roll onto our other shoulder. Great job. Last minute, we're just going to get our quads. So whatever that looks like for you, I like a standing quad stretch. If my balance is feeling on point today, if you want a kneeling one or a lying one, totally up to you. So we'll do 30 seconds on each quad. All right, that's halfway. Switch legs. Great job, you guys. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that one. If you're like me, your butt is going to hurt tomorrow, but in a good way. We'll see you next time.